Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be a new trying new makeup. So I have a bunch of new products here to try out today and get this look. So I have the new Urban Decay Game of Thrones eyeshadow palette. I also have the new primer from Ofra Cosmetics, the new 4-in-1 Selfie Foundation and Concealer from Pur, the new Cover FX Monochromatic Blushes. I have some new lip products from Ofra, also Stilazzi and Sephora. There is also going to be a little giveaway at the end of this video, so if you're interested in entering that, make sure to stay tuned. But if you want to see how I got this look today, why don't we go ahead and get started. I'm going to start off with the eyes. So I have from Urban Decay the Game of Thrones eyeshadow palette. So this is like the outer packaging, the box that it came in, and then when you slide it out, it looks like this. I know there's been a bunch of videos on it, so I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of reviews and tutorials and everything, but then you can pull this out here and then you have the actual eyeshadow palette. So Urban Decay did send this over to me. They emailed, because they do have my name for like their PR list, and they emailed and they said, they like asked a question about Game of Thrones, and I wrote back and I was like, you know, I don't watch the show. I've mentioned this in a Will I Buy It video. I said, I don't watch the show. If you don't want to send me the collection, that's totally okay, you know, because Urban Decay is one of those brands where they don't send, at least me as like a micro influencer, they don't send me everything. Like, it's kind of like every other package, every 2 packages. And so I was like, you know what, you know, if there's someone else that you can send this one to, like, I'm totally fine being skipped over for this one. So I saw them, you know, they did send like the whole collection to a bunch of people, and then a little bit later they sent me this eyeshadow palette. So I still thought that was really nice of them to do. First, gonna come into this matte shade right here, which is called House Lannister. I'm probably gonna say things wrong and stuff, because like I said, I didn't follow the series. There's no mirror on this, so I'm just gonna use my little handheld mirror. So I'm first gonna come in using my Bdellium Tools, a 785 blending brush, and I'm just gonna start to sweep that in the crease and above the crease. If you guys can't tell, I am sick. A little bit under the weather, so if you see like, you know, like snot pouring out of my nose and like all of a sudden I like lose my voice and have to take a drink of water, I have a cold. Our weather went from being in the 90s for like 3 days straight to today, as of this moment. I have my phone right here. Let me look and see. Oh, let me pull up the weather. It's 46 degrees. It's 46 degrees. So that's what our weather's been doing, and I never have a chance when that happens. I get sick almost every single time we have these extreme shifts in weather, and it just bums me out so bad. And so last Wednesday I woke up not feeling the greatest, and I could just tell, and I had a cough, and I was like, oh no. And I started drinking so much water and orange juice and just like going to bed early, you know, like just not doing anything, like trying to get rest and everything, because we actually had a really big weekend last weekend. We had a fundraiser gala, it was called, on a Saturday night. Me and my friends have been doing a bunch of like fundraising and just different events for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. One of my best girlfriends, someone that she works with, was in the running for Woman of the Year. So the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society does this in all these different states. It's actually really cool. If you have some time, I would say to look it up, because I really learned a lot over the past, it's been 10 weeks. So she was in this running for Woman of the Year. And so we've been doing all these different things, and then kind of like the finale was this gala where, I mean, everyone was super dressed up. Like, it was so much fun. But you got really dressed up and you went out and you had dinner, and there was like a silent auction, a live auction. It was a really, really cool night. It was a really cool experience. I was really glad that we were able to take part in so many different things over these last 10 weeks, as my friend's coworker was in the running for this Woman of the Year. And then that was kind of the finale of it all. You know, the man and woman got announced and everything. And it was, I mean, it was several hours long, but it was really cool and just really nice to be able to talk to people, and just kind of felt like you were a part of something bigger. I just did not want to be sick. I was so excited for this. It was something that I just was really looking forward to. So I like poured everything into not getting sick. And then Saturday came around, and you know, we're with our friends all day, had some glasses of wine, stayed up way too late, And come Monday, so I'm filming this on Tuesday, come Monday, I was down. I was down for the count. It's like I took 1 day off of not drinking enough liquids, not getting enough vitamin C, not getting enough rest, and my cold was like, I'm still here, girl. I wasn't going anywhere. And I'm like, oh, come on, that was so rude. So yesterday I had to take the day, I couldn't even film. I could barely talk. I had a fever. Whew, it was a rough day, let me tell you, but I'm feeling better today. I'm not 100%, and you know, I know my voice is still a little crummy and I still don't feel great, but I feel better, and it just kind of re-energized me to get up and get moving, you know? I actually really like this deeper color that's right next to it. So that says, the first one was House Lannister, this one is Lannister Red. I just think that's a really cool, like very rich color. I kind of want to play with that one next. So I'm going to take my Sigma, this is the E44, the Firm shader, and I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that, and I'm going to start to tap it. The first shade is a little bit more of like a salmony pink, so I'm not sure how these two will look together, but I just thought that that shade looked really beautiful in the palette. So I'm just going to kind of work this just on the outer part of the eye here. Ooh, so I think this eye look is going to be darker than I was originally kind of thinking in my head, but this is a really cool shade. I really quite like this. I'm just going to do the same on the other eye. So just kind of working slowly since it is a pretty dark color. I'm just going to add and blend and then add and blend. I'm just going to keep working in this little section right here, King's Landing. I'm going to pick up a Red Keep, which is this shimmer right here. I'm going to use the Stilazzi Shadow Fluff. This is the S210. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick up a little bit of Red Keep, and then I'm going to spray my brush with a bit of Fix Plus. And then I'm just going to go ahead and apply it on the lid here. Ooh, that's really pretty. I've been so into bronzy tones lately, bronze and reds and oranges. I'm having a struggle to stop. So sorry if you've seen this look a million times, but it's kind of what I just keep going to. It's more orangey than I think maybe I was expecting right off the bat, but I still think that that looks really pretty. I'm going to come back and pick up just a little bit more of that Lannister Red and kind of blend those shades together. Impressed with these shadows so far. The two mattes I've used have been pretty easy to blend, even that darker shade. And the shimmer is really beautiful. I'm not getting a lot of fallout either, which the Fix Plus usually will help with that too. But I'm just going to go ahead and apply that shimmer shade down. I feel like I'm wearing my Aries shirt, so it also makes sense to do kind of more of this browns and oranges and reds, you know. Got my, you can't see it right now, but got my Aries shirt on. Okay, this is where I'm going to leave the eyes for right now. I'm going to switch over to my face, apply a couple products here, and then we'll come back to the eyes. So first up for the face, I have a new primer here from Ofra. I was really excited. They sent these over to me. I just touched on them in Wednesday's Will I Buy It video, and I said that I was really curious about these. So the one I'm trying is the Northern Lights Primer. It says prime and glow without the oiliness in this soft focus primer. Imperfections will be diffused as this light catching prepping lotion dries to a satin finish and creates a smooth base for your makeup. So that is what I'm going to be trying today. So looks like this for the packaging, and then you pop this off, yeah, and then you have a pump here. So I do like that it's a pump. So there is what the primer is looking like. So I'm just going to go ahead and dot this on to my skin. I mentioned in Wednesday's Will I Buy It too that I'm now an affiliate with Ofra, which is super exciting to me. It's been really awesome to kind of catch their attention, and I like so many products from Ofra, and I talk about them so much, so it was really cool to kind of get their eye, you know. So if there's anything that you've been thinking of purchasing from the Ofra website, my code is now Samantha. I think it's for 10% off. It is an affiliate code, so I do get, you know, a commission from that, but I was just really excited about that, so I wanted to let you guys know. I have a couple different products I'll be using from Ofra in here, but that first one was the primer. I didn't notice much of a scent with it, but I also have a cold, so there definitely could be, and I just can't smell anything right now. It felt really nice on the skin though. It's not like super it's not like, you know, like a really tacky primer. I felt like it blended in really easily. I don't know if I used enough. I kind of want to use just a little, like a little bit more. Just a little bit more, just because I feel like I didn't get a ton of product on. So I'm just gonna apply just a little bit more. Okay, so here's what my skin is looking like with the primer. I do have a new foundation to try too, so I'm going to be trying the ones from Pur. This is the 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie Longwear Foundation and Concealer. Normally I wouldn't really try a new primer with a new foundation because it's kind of hard to test and see, but I don't think I'm going to be wearing this makeup for very long today. I can kind of see myself taking it off a little bit earlier than I normally would because I'm not feeling very well. So today might not be a great test for it, so I thought that I could just do it anyways. But I'll have a pinned comment with some further thoughts down below if you want to check that. But as always, when I'm trying out new items, I'll come back in a couple weeks and give my full thoughts on everything, and I'll try these out separately, but I just thought for the sake of the video we could kind of do it all together. But yes, like I said, I have the new foundation here. This is from Pur. This is the 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie Longwear Foundation and Concealer. So this is the one with 100 shades. This is new from Pur. They did send this over to me, and they sent these little guys, which I think is really nice. The shade I pulled out for foundation is MP6, which is medium pink 6. It's kind of like a whole thing to find your shade since there is so many shades. It can be a little bit challenging, but I think that's really cool that they have 100 different shades to choose from. So I am really excited to give this a try. It says it's a natural skin-like finish. There's skincare infused to help protect skin against environmental stressors like pollution and high energy visible blue light. 100 true to you shades. This is $36 and is available now. So this little guy here has the doe foot on it. I think the actual, like the full size, has a doe foot and a pump, if I am remembering that correctly from when I was talking about it in the will I buy it. So because this one is so tiny, it might take me a little bit to you know, the actual component is really small, so it's gonna take me a little bit to get this all over, but it feels really like silky as I'm just kind of applying it here, and that looks like it's going to be a good shade match for me. They didn't send me all of them, which is totally okay, because can you even imagine that would have been a lot of shades. I'm going to start off with this here. I'm going to go ahead and use, this is from Ofra, their Perfecting Puff, so I'm just going to go ahead and use this to blend it in. I did ask on Instagram stories if you guys wanted to see like a full foundation wear test with this one. I've only done one other one on my channel, but I wasn't sure, and the majority vote was yes, but there wasn't a lot of votes, if that makes sense. So it kind of just gave me the impression that maybe people weren't super interested in seeing like a full dedicated video on it, and really I haven't even seen a lot of dedicated videos, which kind of surprised me. I thought people would be maybe a little bit more jazzed about this one, but you never know. That's why I like to do polls and try to get your feedback on what people want to be seeing. So thought that I could just include it in today's video and just really test it out a lot over the next few weeks here. So I felt like that blended in really easily, but the coverage isn't fully there. Again, I think that's because just the actual doe foot is so small on this, like it's taking me a while to build it up. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do another layer here and then blend that out. Again, if you had the full size, I think this would be a lot quicker and everything, but just gonna do my best here. And once again, taking the Ofra sponge. I'm so excited. Ofra actually sent me over a couple more of these Perfecting Puffs. I mentioned in the If I Can Only Keep One brushes edition, because I touched on sponges in there, I was saying how much I really enjoy this one, and I've reviewed it in the past, and I've put it in like the favorite section of my makeup monthly, and my dog got a hold of my sponge and ruined it, and I was so upset. And Ofra sent me over like 5 more sponges. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you, because I was totally planning to repurchase it myself because I was just so bummed that I didn't have it anymore, and then they sent me some and I was so excited about that. I am really liking the shade match. Again, that's MP6, and I'll try to get a little bit closer here. One thing that I feel like I'm noticing with this foundation is that it does look very skin-like to me. Like it has a very natural finish to it, which is my favorite, so I appreciate that. I think that it has a medium coverage is where I was able to get it to, because I still feel like the coverage is nice and it's kind of hiding a few things, but I still feel like I can see my skin, if that makes sense. So far so good. I think that I do like it. It's just a little bit harder to work with in the mini, but I think that it'll still be able to give me the opportunity to try it out and see what I am thinking about it. So far I think that I'm liking the foundation. It doesn't seem to be like overly dry, overly dewy, like overly matte, overly illuminated, anything like that. So I think that looks pretty nice so far. Again, I like that really natural finish to it. I think that looks pretty. So okay, so that's where I'm going to go ahead and leave the foundation. And then I pulled out another shade as like a concealer shade. I know this says foundation and concealer, but I've never really used my foundation also as a concealer, because for me, I like to have lighter under eyes and like the center area of my face. So I would want a different foundation shade. So that is when I pulled out LN5, so that's light neutral 5. And I'm going to use this as the concealer shade and see what I think of it. So just trying a few different ways here, but that's just kind of me. So when it said like foundation and concealer, like I just don't really get excited over that 2-in-1 claim, because it's not something that I really do. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take some of this and apply it underneath my under eyes. Yeah, that's one thing that I really notice about this one. When I'm applying it, it just feels so like silky satiny on the skin. I like that. And it was really easy to blend on the under eyes for sure. So I'm just going to add a little bit on the center of my face too, like I said, and then go ahead and take the same sponge and blend this out and see what we think of it as a concealer. Now, would it make sense to purchase this in multiple shades for a foundation and concealer? I don't think so, but I mean, you can definitely do whatever it is that you please. I'm just kind of trying multiple different uses for the video again today. Okay, so I don't mind it as a concealer. I will say I felt like it was actually, for whatever reason, it was kind of harder to blend as the concealer, like on my under eyes. I felt like it was almost a little bit draggy, and I didn't really notice that when I had it all over my face. So that's kind of interesting, but I don't think it looks bad as the concealer. I feel like it did a good job, especially like I have a blemish up here. It did a good job kind of covering that. And then again, just kind of bringing some lightness back to the skin. I don't know if I would say right off the bat that I think it's going to be like my favorite as a concealer, but again, we're just kind of trying something new here with that. But I think I definitely like it as a foundation, kind of so on the concealer. But that is the Pur 4-in-1 foundation. I'd love to know if you guys have tried this yet and what you're thinking of it. I don't have a new like powder, contour, or bronzer or brows, so I'm going to do a couple of those items off camera, and then we will jump back into it. Alright, so I went ahead and did my brows. I just powdered where I put the concealer. I didn't powder my entire face. Again, just maybe kind of seeing how that foundation will hold up as long as I choose to wear it today. Did some contour and bronzer, but I do have a new blush that I thought I could share on camera here as well. This is from Cover FX, so this is one of their monochromatic mattes that just came out. I picked this up from Ulta Beauty. This is one of the monochromatic blush duos, and this is in Warm Honey. So this is what Warm Honey looks like. It's really beautiful. So you have matte on one side, shimmer on the other. I've used this a couple times. You have a mirror in here. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply it. I have my Sigma F40, and kind of what I've been doing is I'm first just kind of touching the matte side and then applying that to the apples of my cheeks. I will say that these are incredibly pigmented. I was watching a couple reviews on them, and I'm glad I did before I jumped in first, because a lot of people were saying how pigmented they were, and they really are. A little bit goes a very long way. So I'm first just using that matte side and applying to my cheeks. My dog is just like pacing behind me. It's so funny, since moving to this new town, my husband now works here. So I mean, for a year he was commuting an hour and a half every day for his job and back. But even when he worked in the town that we were living prior, even though it was kind of close to the house, I think he only had, you know, half an hour for lunch, and like we were just, sometimes I would meet him for lunch, but he would never come home for lunch. And now he can't come home every day, because sometimes he's out of town with the work that he does and everything. But a lot of days he can come and have lunch here and just like come and have like a sandwich at home or something like that. And Aries is still trying to get used to it, because she's almost 6 and she's never had that before. So he comes home in the middle of the day and she's just like, yes! And then he leaves and she's like, I don't understand. Why did you leave? So it's just kind of funny. So he just left, so now she's just pacing, trying to figure it out. Poor girl. And then I'm just going to take the same brush and I just kind of lightly dab into that shimmer shade. And then I just kind of apply it on the cheeks as well, just to give it kind of a glowy blush look. I like it because if you wanted to just do the matte side, you totally could. You could add the shimmer in. You could, you know, kind of just swirl your brush all together. That's just kind of the way that I've been doing it, just kind of doing it separately. I don't know why. And I actually really like Warm Honey. I was kind of going back and forth between a few of the shades, but I think that this one is really, really pretty, and I think especially once our warm weather comes back and I have a tan once again, I think I'm really gonna like this shade for the summer. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the eyes. I added a little bit of this Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil in Lucky. It looked really similar to the lid shade that we added. So I have that on the waterline, and then I'm just going to pick up, I think I'm first gonna grab Lannister Red, and this is with the Mini Definer S206 from Stilazzi. So a lot of times I grab a darker shade first, if that's what I'm doing for the lower lash line, and I'll press it really close to the lashes, and then I'll use another lighter shade to blend it out. So I'm just going to get really close to the lash line. For whatever reason, I really like this shade in this palette. I feel like I could see myself going into it quite a bit. So that is what I'm going to do first, and just kind of lightly build that up here on the lower lash line. I'm actually going to keep that same brush, and I'm going to go into the other shade in this little section here, Casterly Rock. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of this. Looks like it has some shimmer to it, but I want to go ahead and add it to the lower lash line. So I'm just going to pop this real close to the lashes as well. Ooh, that kind of makes it a little bit fun. I like that. This is kind of like a dirty, grungy color. I think I actually like the lower lash line right there. So then I'm going to come into King's Landing, and that's what I'm going to use as my inner corner highlight. So I'm just grabbing a small brush here. This is from Morphe. This is the JH39. I'm just going to go ahead and tap this onto the inner corner. And I'm just gonna like lightly tap it on the brow bone too, not do too much, just a little bit. I'm just gonna add a little bit of my Urban Decay Perversion mascara, and then the eyes will be done. Alrighty, I went ahead and popped on a highlight as well since I don't have a new one, so I'm just going to move on to the lips. So I'm first going to line my lips with an Ofra Cosmetics lip liner. This is in Spicy. Next, I'm going to add a little bit of a Stilazzi lip product. So they just sent me over a bunch of different lip products. This one is one of the lip mattes, and the shade is Get Fizzy. I'm going to go ahead and top that with a little bit of the Sephora Rouge Lacquer. This is in No Regrets. I picked this up in the VIB sale. Alright, so this is the finished look here. So I'm really happy with the look. It's definitely me and what I'm going for, especially a lot right now. You know when you just get into phases, like you either wear a lot of the same thing, eat a lot of the same thing, drink a lot of the same thing. I'm just really into these bronzy tones right now, but I really like how really the entire makeup look came out. For the Game of Thrones eyeshadow palette, like I said, I really liked this look. I felt like the shadows were really easy to use. The mattes and the shimmers, everything worked really well for me. I didn't have any sort of hiccups. I just kind of used that one little section of the eyeshadow palette, but I will definitely be trying it out a little bit more. But so far so good. I can't say it's anything that I would have gone out and purchased myself because I'm not a Game of Thrones fan, and kind of just like the packaging setup layout isn't necessarily something I love. But I know that there's obviously a ton of Game of Thrones fans, so I'm sure that there's a lot of people that were really interested in that. For the Ofra Primer, I'm definitely curious to try it out because I'm not sure I noticed anything like super illuminating right away. I do also have the bronzing one to try, which I almost tried that one first. I'll definitely be putting both of them to the test and let you know what I think. For the Pur Foundation, I actually quite like the foundation. I really do like this natural finish to it. I felt like I liked the coverage. Every time that I've been looking in the mirror here over, I mean, I've been sitting here for a long time. I've had to take some breaks because I'm not feeling the best and all of that, but every time I've looked in the mirror, I've been like, I think that my face looks pretty good. So I'm going to be curious to see how it kind of holds up on me. And again, I'll try it out with different primers, applying it different ways, you know, all that fun stuff. So again, I'll check back in a couple weeks and let you know what I thought of everything. I didn't necessarily love it as a concealer for whatever reason. That's kind of odd to me, but as an actual foundation, I thought that it looked pretty nice. For this Cover FX Monochromatic Blush, I actually really do quite enjoy these. They are pricey, and I don't see myself ever going through them, especially for how light-handed you have to be, but I really like kind of just having some options here with the matte and then the shimmer side to it, and I'm really happy with this shade so far, so I'm glad that I picked this up as of right now. Again, I've tried it a couple times and I really do quite like that one. The Ofra lip liner I really liked. The spicy shade I think is one that I can see myself going for quite a bit. It's just kind of that deeper nude. And then for the Stilazzi lip matte, I liked it. I liked how it looked matte. Obviously, I put more of a gloss on top of it, but I liked that matte look. It wasn't the creamiest to apply, but it also wasn't super draggy. So I think that I'm going to get on with these Stilazzi lip products, but I'd like to see how they wear, try a few different shades and all of that. And again, I've been really liking that Sephora Rouge Lacquer. I've tried it a couple times too since I picked it up in the VIB sale, and I really have been quite enjoying it. I think that's everything that I tried out today, just kind of my first thoughts on them. And again, I hope you enjoyed seeing this look. Like I said, I do have a little giveaway. So from starting now, or there's going to be one in yesterday's video, so if you haven't caught that one, it's just a clothing haul, but there is going to be a little giveaway in that one too. But I'm just going to try to incorporate just some little giveaways throughout the rest of the month here, and then I have one big one to kind of end the month off with. But I thought it would just be fun to do just like little prize packages and just be able to send them out to a bunch of people versus kind of doing like a larger one going out to one person. So stay tuned. You know, I post a YouTube video every single day except for Saturdays. I take the day off, and I'm planning to have just a little giveaway, a little prize pack in there for one winner during each of these. So I thought I would show you what is going to be in today's little giveaway here. So I have two different lip products from Buxom. One is a full-on plumping lip cream and one is the Plump Line lip liner. So two lip products from Buxom. I also have two eye products here from MAC. These are the Shiny Pretty Shadows. So they're kind of like really pretty glitter toppers. I have a couple myself, but there's two of those. I have an eyeshadow palette here from Winky Lux. This is the Smitten palette. So a few different shades in this eyeshadow palette here. And then I also have some skincare from Wander Beauty. I've been really impressed with this brand lately. So we have the Drift Away cleanser, so a full-size cleanser. And then also the BRB Multi Polish. So again, two full-size products from Wander Beauty. So again, just a little price pack here, but wanted to send it out to one of my Sam Squad members. So if you are interested in entering the giveaway, all you have to do is be subscribed here and leave a comment down below and include the hashtag Sam Squad in there. That way, if you don't want to enter it but you still want to leave a comment or some feedback on the video, just don't include that hashtag. But if you do want to get entered, just please include that, and I will be going through the comments and just kind of randomly choosing out a winner from there. My giveaways are international, so anyone can enter. I typically just ask that you're 16 or over, so your parents know why you're giving me your address if you are the winner. And then for the winner, I will just go ahead and leave a comment underneath asking for your contact information, so stay tuned for that. I'm going to have the giveaways open about 48 hours or so, and then once they're closed, I'll have in the description box the winner. I'm planning to do this through the end of May. Just wanted to say thank you. You know, we've moved, we're unpacked and all of that, so I've gotten all everything that I've been kind of packing away for a giveaway ready to go. So I've been trying to get as many done as I can, and I thought this would be a fun way to try to get more packages out to people, and hopefully just make someone's day a little bit brighter. So I appreciate you guys hanging with me during this whole moving process. It's been so crazy, and I just appreciate it so much. So just wanted to show my appreciation that way. But if you want to enter, just leave a comment down below, put Sam Squad in there. Super easy. That's it. But other than that, if you guys did enjoy this video, if you enjoyed seeing how I created this look, I hope that you'll give this video a thumbs up. I hope that you'll also consider subscribing before you go, and I will catch you guys in Sunday's video. Bye.